Cardano will moonshot in 2024. Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about how Cardano is in a healthy correction right now, but after that correction, Cardano is going to absolutely moonshot. You see, in keeping with our most recent Cardano video, I believe that we're going to go to $8.30 during this bull market, but first, in quarter one, I think we're going to have a correction, and that correction may not be over just yet. Today, we're going to talk about what the rest of this corrective movement that Cardano is currently in will look like, and then we're going to talk about the path to $1 and beyond. So if you want to find out how to apply all of this and make profitable investments in Cardano, then this is the video for you. So without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Profitable cryptocurrency portfolios like Doritos are delicious, but unfortunately, hackers are out to steal. Want to protect your investments? With NordVPN, you might not be able to protect somebody from stealing your Doritos, but you can protect somebody from stealing your crypto. I want to make this really simple and get real with you for a second. The reason that NordVPN is linked in the description box down below is because, quite frankly, in these videos, I'm going to show you how to make a lot of money by investing in the cryptocurrency space, but that's not really going to serve you very much if a hacker comes along through a phishing email, gets a password, logs into your Coinbase or Kraken or whatever exchange, steals all of your funds, and then all of your progress is wasted. Worse yet, it went to the hacker. Quite simply, I want you to succeed in the cryptocurrency space, and part of succeeding in the cryptocurrency space is not losing your money. So make sure you sign up for NordVPN with the link in the description box down below, get a 2-year plan, spend like $200 and protect yourself for the entire bull market, and do it all risk-free with a 30-day money-back refund guarantee by going to nordvpn.com/Jebb and signing up down below. These things are great. Hold on to them. Let's set the stage. In our last Cardano video, we had this to say. If Bitcoin goes through a major correction as a result of being overextended after having rallied $20,000, that would lead to a massive correction and reset in the MACD and RSI on Bitcoin, as well as on the altcoins, including Cardano. That could lead Cardano to a much larger correction than what Bitcoin witnesses. Whereas Bitcoin may witness a 10 to 15, maybe 20% corrective movement, instead, Cardano may witness a 35 to 40% corrective movement, dropping us all the way back down to baseline support between 40 and 42 cents. If that occurs, the reset RSI and MACD coupled with the higher low that would be established would give the bulls all of the strength and technical backing that they need to send Cardano well over $1 moving into the first quarter of next year. In that video that got about 53,000 views that was uploaded on December 14, 2023, we made 3 major points. We're going to go through each one of those points, and we're going to talk about how we can apply those right now so we understand where the market is going next with the new context that we have over the last 5 weeks since that video went out. The first of the 3 points that we made in that video was that there was going to be a correction on Bitcoin of 10 to 15, maybe 20%, which is a direct quote. To date, from the day that the ETF started trading, Bitcoin has seen roughly a 20% drop. The second point made in that video was that we would eventually see a correction of 35 to 40% on Cardano, which would drop the price down to about 40 to 42 cents. So far, that has also come to pass, with Cardano dropping about 31.5% from its local top down to about 46 cents, but there's likely more to come for reasons we'll discuss in a minute. So far, the conclusion of that video has been 2 for 3, but it's going to stay at 2 for 3 because I actually disagree with the third point of that video, and that's what we're going to talk about today. The third component of that video was that we were going to likely see Cardano move towards $1 in quarter one of 2024. And while I do think a rally up to $1 is going to happen, I think quarter one is a little bit too soon. In that video, I said directly we will see a rally on Cardano to well over $1 in the first quarter of next year, which is now this year because it was shot last year. And seeing as that prediction is probably not actually going to come true, today we're going to talk about what is the actual path that Cardano is going to take up to $1. How is the rest of this correction going to look like? How will that rally occur? And how can we be best prepared for that? First and foremost, let's talk about why we are not going to reach $1 on Cardano in quarter one, contrary to the third and final point made in that video last month. To start off with, even during the recording of this video, Bitcoin is in a major corrective movement, and we're already down roughly 20% from the bull market high at $49,000, and we have many reasons to believe that that rally is not over yet. At the time of recording this video, Bitcoin has just filled the Bitcoin CME futures gap by dropping down to $39,300, and while this may end up being the eventual bottom, I'm predicting that we're going to see a further drop on Bitcoin of at least a couple $1,000s. In fact, based on all of my analysis done in other content, I believe that Bitcoin will drop as low as the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement on the logarithm chart for Bitcoin, which would be a drop to roughly 31,850 to 32,500, and that drop would likely take about 2 months to occur. Whenever we see Bitcoin go through any kind of correction, the altcoins invariably follow suit and often drop even farther because they're following their leader. Bitcoin's down 7%, Ethereum's down 8%. Ethereum's down 8%, Solana's down 12%. Bitcoin's down 7%, XRP's down 9%, Bitcoin's down 7%, Cardano's down 10%. With this drop still likely in the making on Bitcoin, a drop is still likely in the making on Cardano as well. It is going to take time for these drops to play out, and that means that our Q1 prediction may have been a little bit aggressive. The good news is Cardano has already gone through a majority of its correction. We've dropped 30%, and while we may go on to drop the full 35 to 40%, as stated in the original prediction, down to about 40 to 42 cents, the majority of it has already taken place, and we're likely going to see a lot of sideways action between 40 and 50 over the course of the next month and a half on Cardano. 40 cents really feels like the floor right now on Cardano, though, because there's such a massive bulwark of VRVP support down here. If we do drop below 40, it'll likely be on a wick, it'll likely be brief, and it likely won't be very are. To conclude our first topic, is Cardano going to go back to $1 in Q1? Almost certainly not, but it's not that we're not going to go to $1, it's just that Q1 is a little bit too soon. We're probably going to see quite a lot of sideways action during January, February, and March as Bitcoin goes through its correction, potentially up to 30 to 45% on its own, and then from there, we'll see a total market bounce moving into the halving. But with that in mind, I want to move into our second topic here, talking about what the rest of this correction is going to look like on Cardano, and then from there, we'll move into our third, where we will discuss how we'll go to $1 and beyond, and how we can prepare best for it. Next up, the correction. As aforementioned, Cardano has already gone through the majority of its drop. We've dropped about 30%. Another 10% drop may be in the cards from 46 down to 40, but we've already seen the majority of it happen. From this point in time, you will likely see Cardano asymptotically approach the 40-cent region, and from here, we will build bastion support, as we have already done beneath the 40-cent region. Cardano, therefore, will likely enter into a long, stagnant period of sideways action where you're going to see quite a lot of boredom. Cardano has already seen a considerable downtrend on Google search trends after the massive high that we saw in the first 2 weeks of December, although we should keep in mind that the search volume is still elevated compared to about 4 months ago. But that drop will likely continue as the hype around Cardano in the short term trails off. This will likely lead to a lot of boring action over the course of the next couple of months leading into halving, which is when we will see the next major rally taking place. And that leads us into our third and final point: how Cardano will return to $1 and when. To unpack this, I need to bring in a lot of different facts and figures. Let's start off on DeFi Llama. Despite the fact that Cardano's price has declined by 30% and the fact that search volume has dropped dramatically, total value locked on the platform has largely stayed untouched. At the beginning of Cardano's rally, we were looking at $157 million in total value locked. At a peak, we hit nearly $400 million, and right now, we're still sitting at $336. A very small, honestly ignorable drop on TVL. At the same time, we have only seen an increase in commits, a major increase in fees, and a massive increase in volume. Many of the fundamentals that Cardano is looking at are still very strong, and they trend a lot more of the 60 or 70 cent Cardano rather than a 40 or 42 cent Cardano, indicating that Cardano is moving into very much oversold territory at the 40 cent region. On top of that, Cardano and Charles Hoskinson continue to be leaders in the space, thought leaders, influential leaders, and quite frankly, hype leaders. It's hard not to feel the contagious belief that Charles Hoskinson and the entire Ada gang puts out into the space. Cardano has one of the strongest communities in the entire industry, and that is something that simply cannot be ignored. And the last piece of evidence I want to bring up before we talk about how Cardano will get to $1 is how it stacks up against its other layer 1 rivals. Namely, when we look at Ethereum, Ethereum has rallied all the way up to the Fibonacci golden pocket, and right now looks like it could be dropping back down to the 0.5 region, around $2,000. Sneaky Ethereum price prediction for you. Solana is currently sitting in the 80s, and as we talked about on Coffee and Crypto Live on Monday, we're likely going to see a drop on Solana down to at least $70, potentially as low as $50. Solana rallied up to the 0.786 region and is correcting from there. Unlike Ethereum and Solana, Cardano did not rally to the 0.786 region, which would be $1.80 on Cardano. Instead, it rallied only to the 0.38 level, indicating that one of two things is going on. Either one, Cardano is simply not valuable enough to return to all-time high, which I don't believe to be the case for many reasons, or it means that Cardano is massively undervalued in the same way that DeFi Llama shares with us information that leads us to the belief that Cardano is massively undervalued. Don't get me wrong, Solana and Ethereum, I think, have earned the rallies that they've gone through. I also, however, think that Cardano has earned a much larger rally than it has witnessed, and that means that when we do see more bullishness come into the space and the overall trend turns bullish, Cardano is going to see a lot of gains. And with all of that breadth of context in place, now we can understand when and how Cardano will return to $1 and beyond. In my opinion, Cardano has largely completed its correction. Again, a drop down to 40 cents is likely over the course of the next couple of months, but when we see the Bitcoin halving takes place, I think you're going to see the entire bull market take off like a Roman candle. And quite simply, Cardano is going to rally back up to its local high at the 0.382 level at 63 cents. It's going to smash it. Then it's going to rally up to the 0.5 level, and it's going to smash it. And then we're going to rally up to the 0.618 level at $1.16, and we're going to absolutely smash it. Moving on into quarter two, therefore, instead of quarter one, quarter two, post-halving, you're likely to see Cardano rally from about 40 cents to about $1.16, which is the 0.618 level, and that's 182.77% rally coming to Cardano very, very soon. From there, in quarter two and quarter three, you're going to see most of cryptocurrency, I think, moving towards all-time high. From there, Cardano will go crazy, and it will likely rally all the way back up to $3 and well beyond. And so that means that we have application that we need to talk about right now. First and foremost, let's remember, Cardano is in a deep but healthy and opportunity-filled correction. Cardano is highly undervalued based on total value locked numbers, based on Google Trend data, based on the way that the market shapes up against other layer one compatriots. Cardano is very undervalued compared to what it should be valued at and compared to its competitors. This presents an excellent opportunity for investment. So what we should do is we should continue to dollar cost average into Cardano, especially since Cardano is already probably pretty close to the bottom that it'll eventually reach during this quarter one pullback that all of crypto is experiencing. It's also a good idea to build a lump sum of money that if we do see a flash crash down to 28 cents or 30 cents or 34 cents, that we could deploy some capital looking forward to this rally up to $1.16 moving into the next several months. We want a dollar cost average on the one hand, and on the other hand, make sure that we have a lump sum of capital that we can deploy if an opportunity arises. Cardano is eventually going to play catch up, but until that time, we have the opportunity to play catch up by building out our dollar cost averaging plan and also building out a lump sum of money that we can deploy if we get a really great opportunity. I believe that Cardano is going to 10x in the coming bull market, and I don't want you to miss out on it, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more content because we're going to keep you guys up to date on all the happenings on the Cardano chart and how to make the most out of them as an investor. Cardano is eventually going to go through a major rally, so it's our job to take position to take advantage of that. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to sign up for NordVPN down below because if you follow what we're talking about here, more likely than not, you're going to make a lot of money. And I don't want somebody to come along and steal that from you. So make sure you sign up for NordVPN because they are the absolute #1 in VPN architecture to keep you safe and browsing freely on the internet. Sign up risk-free with a 30-day money-back refund guarantee with the link in the top of the description box down below. Or just go to nordvpn.com/Jebb. That's going to wrap it out for today's video. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.